What's up, guys? So we're back straight from my shop right back here to the world famous Glamis Beach Store and Glamis Fab. We are out here working this weekend. It's not a holiday, but Joe's out of town deer hunting, I believe, trying to get us some meat. So we're here working, and it's not real busy, but we got this cool razor in here I want to show you guys. Like I said, I'm not a side-by-side guy by any means, but let's take a look at this and see what it is. So I know there's a race this weekend. Biffle's having his race at the hill, but check this thing out, guys. Pretty freaking gnarly. And a Funko coming in at the same time. How much power does this thing make?
I don't know. They're saying somewhere close to 400.
Wow. 400 horsepower with a belt, boys. Pretty gnarly. So he went to go past tech, and car doesn't have a firewall, doesn't have door bars. So we're going to do what we can to add a firewall to this car, add some door bars, and maybe X-brace the roof. And I got welding extraordinaire Brandon here, so he'll burn all this stuff in. We got the roof X-braced. I got everything cut and notched, and Brandon's burning it in right now. So then we can lay sheet metal over the top so there's a roof. And then they ran to town to get some sheet metal so we can build a firewall. And Brandon's getting that burned in. So we'll get these guys ready to pass tech. All right, well, we got the door bars done. We got the X-brace done in the roof. We're waiting for them to come back with the sheet metal so we can make a firewall and cover the turbo and cover the door area. And then an old friend's back. You guys remember this car from one of my videos? I owned it for about 5 seconds. And then my buddy Anthony bought it, and now somebody else bought it, and we think it might have jumped time, so I'm going to pull the motor apart, or the back half anyway. And God, I always loved this car. I never should have sold it, but you know, whatever, money talks. So we're going to go ahead and pull the turbo off, pull the timing cover off, and have a look, see what's going on with this thing. Okay, so like I said, they said this was a brand new fully built motor. So I took the turbo off. The crank pulley bolt came out by hand. There's no Loctite on it. And now I'm looking up here. You guys can see there's no bolts in the timing cover at all. Look at this. So be interesting to see if the timing belt's brand new as well. And the way these bolts look, they don't look like they've had a wrench on them in a while. They're really dirty. And this is the first trip out with a brand new, supposedly fully built motor. So we'll see. A lot of bad guys in the Honda game that give us good guys a bad name. So the reason they brought this car in is because it wouldn't start, and by the third revolution the motor was trying to kick over backwards. So that's what told me that it was definitely a timing issue. So I rolled the cams over to TDC, so you guys can see the line is lined up with the line and the timing cut. Well, kind of. It's off. It's just a hair. And that one is also lined up. If we go down here to the crank pulley, that little dot should be pointing right here at the middle. So we're off 3 teeth. So we'll get it fixed, and hopefully the motor's not hurt. All right, guys, well, we got the timing belt taken off. Got the crank set to TDC. Got both cams set up on TDC. And we'll get this thing put back together. I looked into everything, and I don't know why it jumped. It does have a Gates timing tensioner on it, which I really don't care for, but I prefer the OEM ones. But we're going to put it back together and get this guy back on the road. All right, so we had this San Limo arm in here that the car's got a solid sway bar on it, so it broke the arm. Oh, that's warm. So we drilled 4 holes. Brandon put a plug in there, and then we're going to rose weld the holes, and then he'll weld those up around there and get this thing fixed up. All right, guys, so I got that car finished up, and then we had another car come in that had a broken off bolt in the secondary clutch. He was trying to replace the belt, so we weld a nut on there and see if we can't back that out of there. So one tip I can give you guys, when you go to remove your belt, put some anti-seize or grease on that back bolt and it won't break. All right, we're back on this thing, guys. We got the roof going on. They brought some sheet metal. Brandon's burning off the paint so we can tack weld it. They're making the firewall right now. So we'll get a firewall on this thing and then we'll move on to the doors and this thing will be done and ready to go hit tech. We're pressed for time because tech closes at 3 o'clock. So it's after 1 now, so we're hauling ass on this thing. All right, guys, so like I showed you, we got the roof done. That's all welded in. We got the doors in. We made a makeshift firewall covering the turbo, the back of the motor. And then they're working on the other door, and we just got to enclose the fuel tank. And we've got about 40 minutes left before tech closes before these guys can get done. So we're hauling ass trying to get this done. The things you do to want to race. So this is right up our alley. Get it in, get it out quick. So we got this part all finished. They jammed over to tech. They passed tech. We got the roof, the firewall, the box. We got it enclosed. Got the fuel tank away from the driver. The only other problem is that this car is 300 pounds underweight. So they just ran into town to buy weights, and we're going to add a weight bar in the front of the car. And we're going to stick 300 pounds on the nose of this car. That way he makes weight. The reason it's so light is because I think this is a 900. Probably. I think it's based on a 900, and most of the new builds, the race builds, are based off of a 1000, and they're a heavier car. So anyhow, we got it all done at Past Tech. Now we just got to add some weight. So this kid better win tomorrow, or at least bring home a trophy. He did a lot of work. All right, guys. Well, it is starting to get cold. I had to put my sweatshirt on, and these guys went into town to get weight. So we're going to finish that weight bar or weight plate for that thing. Just going to sit here and watch the sunset. There wasn't too much stuff going on today. It's kind of an off weekend, although there is that race out here this weekend. So we're just going to sit here and watch the sunset. One of my favorite things out here in Glamis is the sunset. It is so beautiful here. Sunset and sunrise. But like I said, we're just going to add the weight to this car. Hopefully they'll get me some video footage of this thing ripping up the hill during the race tomorrow so I can add that in. And then if anything else comes in, we'll bring you that. But if not, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Guys, so when you absolutely positively have to have internet wherever you go, you mount Starlink right on your Can-Am. That's pretty sick, man. Oh, yeah. Right on, brother. Have a good day. They told me that they raced the Baja 1000 and stuff, so that's kind of one of their pre-runners, so they got service all the time. Pretty cool. All right, here's the final product. We have 90 pounds on each bar in the front. We've got 45 pounds on each side on the floor inside. They're going to have to strap that down. And then we've got 100 pounds hanging off the back as well. So we added basically 360 plus pounds to this car. Plus all, I mean, we probably put 700 or 800 pounds in the car by the time it was all said and done today, but we got it to Past Tech and he'll be able to race tomorrow. So you guys stick around and I'll show you some clips of this thing ripping up the hill. All right, good morning, guys. We're back. No carnage last night, but first one of the morning is this Pro R with a bent tie rod. So we're going to get it in and get her fixed up. Somebody had too much fun.
I didn't see that shit coming, dude.
Dune came out of nowhere.
That fucking thing.
I wouldn't even jack it up. All right, so we torched it, bent it back straight. We'll put a piece of angle iron on there, weld it up to brace it, and raise your Pro R back in the dunes. We got that welded up, and we'll be chilling in the dunes.
Oh shit, we're back.
There it goes, guys. Ready for the races today. ripped out some bolts out of the steering box. That was a pretty cool fix they got going on there. So we're gonna get this front end taken apart and get new bolts put in, get the old ones extracted and get some new bolts pulled in. You didn't crash it though, right?
No.
No, okay, good. Just came out while you were driving?
Yep.
Who makes this car?
Jesse at JP Design.
Oh, it's a JP car from San Diego. Cool. Nice car. All right, guys, so we couldn't easy out those bolts, so we got to take the whole rack out, put it up on the bench, take it apart so we can extract them. And meanwhile, Brandon and the guys are making a huge mess in this clean shop. All right, guys, so next car on the chopping block is this cool little rail, and these guys ran into a problem. This tire won't move. Seems like the wheel bearings are locked up. So we're going to take this thing apart and try to get these guys back in the dunes. All right, so we got her fixed up.
Thank you, brother.
The bearings were trashed. So we put new bearings in it, greased it up, put a new seal in the back, and then preloaded the bearings. So it should be good to go. So another one back in the dunes.
Happy customer.
Heck yeah. Hey guys, so here's Speed UTV number 3231, the two-seater, out here at Glamis today. And dude, what a specimen. I'm telling you what, these cars are freaking amazing. And again, I've showed you guys in my last videos that I don't really prefer one brand over the other, but I mean, if you want to look at a comparison, guys, let's take a look at these front arms and the way this bulkhead's designed, and then walk over here and look at a Can-Am. Not to bash on any other brand, but like I showed you guys in the video, this whole bulkhead has broken off. You can see it's already cracking and rusting. I mean, look at the difference. This is just a stout car. It's a real car. It's not a, like I said, a golf cart on steroids. It's badass. But you guys, I told you, you're gonna start seeing more and more of these out here. Here's 3231, and dude, what a badass car. All right, so YXZ in again. You guys have seen this in the past. Bent tie rod, we torched it, bent it back straight. We're gonna weld some angle iron on it, get him back in the dunes. And then we got another broken spindle over here. So I'm gonna prep this up. We'll put his spud back in there and get Brandon to TIG weld that up. Don't like that they put a solid plate here. There's some sort of weld on there. That's weird. Anyways, we're going to put this back together and we'll make a few passes and burn that back in for him. Brandon made 2 big passes on this thing, so she is not going to break off again. And get these guys back in the dunes. Another one back in the dunes. As next up, this guy had a U-joint that was welded together fail on him. So we're going to weld a new U-joint in its place and get another one back in the dunes. Just had another fan come by. Bring us by another 12-pack of Coors Light. There's one down there. There's one in the fridge. There's 2 in my trailer. I am a beer drinker, but not a huge beer drinker. You guys can mix it up a little bit. Bring me some twisted teas. I do love the teas. So if you guys want to bring me something, let's switch it up a little bit and bring me some teas. All right, guys. So today we are going to have the pleasure of driving Speed UTV number 93. And this kind gentleman here has offered to let me take this thing for a rip. So I'm going to give you guys a real feel of what this car can really do, what it's all about. And you know, if it sucks, I'm going to tell you. But I can tell you right now, I know off-road cars, and this is definitely an off-road car. I
want you to try and break it.
Okay, you heard that, guys. He wants me to try to break it. So I'm going to rip this thing. I'm going to hit the whoops really hard. We'll put a couple cameras on here, and we're going to let it fly. Speed UTV number 93. So here we go, Robbie. Here's going to be a honest opinion from an avid off-roader who works on side-by-sides and rails every single day. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to get strapped in, get this thing lit up, and I'm going to take it for a man. I love the dual screens. That's so sick. All right, guys, here we go. If some of you guys think that Robbie duped you and you bought a side-by-side, you're right, he did dupe you. You didn't buy a side-by-side. You guys bought a real off-road car. This thing is freaking ridiculous, dude. I just took this car through big whoops as fast as it would possibly go. Third gear to the wood, and it just took it like nothing. So we're gonna go hit some more dunes out here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna calm my nerves because my hands are shaking, and we'll jump back into this. So guys, again, I am speechless. Speed UTV number 93. This car is freaking badass. I'm gonna head down towards jeez, I can't even speak, dude. I can't even think of what I'm talking about. I was just going really, really fast in this car. I didn't look at the speedo, but we were freaking moving. And man, and like I said, guys, I've driven pretty much everything in the dunes that there is to drive. Working here at Glamis Fab, sorry about that. Working here at Glamis Fab, I test drive everything. We put a clutch in a car. I've driven Tatums, Funkos, Buckshots. I've driven a Pro R. I've driven Type Razor S's, Can-Am X3 Mavericks. I've driven every car pretty much that there is. Because that I work here at Glamis Fab, we work on everything. So we test drive a lot of cars. And none of them hold a candle to this thing, you guys. And I know there's a couple of issues with these cars that they're working out, but dude, when they work out all the little small issues, this car is gonna be a friggin' monster. I mean, it's already badass. There's no way about it. And you guys gotta understand, this is a brand new manufactured car. It's a brand new production car. So it is gonna have a few little issues here and there, but you guys, they just left me this car to drive and just to do with what I want. So we're gonna take it out again before the sun goes down, and I'm gonna let this thing rip even more. can I say about a speed UTV? I really think they got the name wrong. I don't think this is a UTV. This is a real off-road car. Like I said before, I've driven so many of these UTVs and side-by-sides, and this thing's badass, and it's a real off-road car. So you guys, I'm just giving you my honest opinion. If the car was a piece of crap, I'd tell you it was a piece of crap, and it's not. This thing's badass and it rips. It did everything I asked it to do and more. And I mean, it did everything my sand car does out here. But it actually took the whoops harder and faster than my sand car does. So again, guys, like I said, this thing's not a side-by-side. This is a real off-road car. All right, guys, so once again, to summarize, I just really want to thank the owners of Speed UTV car number 93. They literally just dropped this thing off with me and said, try to break it. You guys saw, that's what I tried to do. I went and ripped this in the biggest whoops I could find. And the only thing I found about the car that I kind of didn't like is that the suspension's probably set up to have 4 people in the car. It does buck a little bit in the rear, but that can be adjusted, or you can just put 2 more people in the back seats. But with me in the car, like I showed every whoop, it just went. And this thing's fast. I mean, really fast. Robbie, you built a hell of a car, my friend. I don't know what to say, man. Like I said, I don't ride on anybody's nuts, but I got to call it as it is. And I mean, you guys look at this thing. It's freaking gorgeous. Built a hell of a car. All right, so in typical fashion, I forgot to shoot an outro. Just in closing in this video, I would like to thank the guys again for letting me drive that car. By no means did that have anything to do with Robbie Gordon or Speed UTV. Those were just some random Speed UTV owners that were out here and let me take their car. What I will say about that car is it does need a little bit of suspension fine-tuning for Glamis. You leave that car with Carl at Shock Talk for a week, and that thing will be an absolute monster out here. So, yeah, guys, I'm actually thinking about buying a Speed UTV myself. It's a pretty badass car. So once again, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Tell all your friends about our channel, and we will see you guys in the dunes. Factory heated seats.